All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we are going to break down two of the biggest terms you hear absolutely everywhere in e-commerce right now, headless and composable. And look, I know they can sound like just more tech buzzwords, but trust me, they are so much more than that. They really represent a huge shift in how the online stores of the future are being put together.
So that really is the big question, isn't it? Is your online store actually built for the future? Because let's be real, the way we build these things is going through a massive revolution. Those old, clunky, all-in-one platforms, they're giving way to solutions that are way more flexible, way more agile. Basically, they're designed to keep up with the crazy speed of modern retail. Okay, first up, let's tackle headless commerce. Now, at its core, this is all about a new way of thinking. An architectural approach that completely changes the relationship between the storefront your customers actually see and interact with and the back-end engine that makes it all tick. So the absolute key word here is decoupling. You're essentially cutting the cord between the front end, the head, the beautiful website or app, and the back end, which handles all the business logic. They talk to each other through something called APIs, but the big takeaway is this separation. It gives you incredible freedom. I love this analogy. It's like having a professional kitchen that isn't stuck serving just one dining room. Nope. This kitchen can power a food truck, a fancy pop-up, and a 5-star restaurant, all at the same time from the same central place.
And this analogy really brings it home, doesn't it? On the left, you've got your traditional setup. Think of a classic diner where the kitchen and the dining room are totally fused together. You can't change one without messing up the other. But then, look at the right. That's the headless kitchen. You have one central powerhouse, your back end, that can serve up experiences to literally any dining room you can think of. A website? Check. A mobile app? Yep. A shopping interface on a smart fridge or through a voice assistant? Absolutely. The possibilities are huge. So why would you do this? Well, the benefits are pretty massive. This approach basically unleashes your creative and marketing teams. They can build these amazing, super fast, totally unique user experiences without having to wait in line for the back-end developers. They're not bottlenecked anymore. It really all comes down to agility and speed, getting new features out the door faster and being able to reach your customers wherever they are on any device now and, 5 years from now. Okay, but it's not a magic bullet. Let's be real about the challenges. Going headless isn't just flipping a switch. It's a bigger lift. It demands some serious technical skill to build and maintain everything, and that can lead to a higher total cost of ownership, the TCO, over the long haul. And yeah, your day-to-day operations can get more complicated, maybe even juggling a few different tools to get things done. All right, so that's headless. Now let's take things a step further and talk about the next evolution, composable commerce. If headless is about decoupling the front end, composable takes that same idea and applies it to your entire system, every single piece of it. The easiest way to think about this is like building with Lego blocks. Seriously. Instead of buying one giant pre-built Death Star kit, an all-in-one platform, you get to pick and choose the absolute best Lego brick for every single job. You pick the best-of-breed search provider, the best checkout solution, the best payment gateway, and you compose them all into a tech stack that is 100% custom-built for exactly what your business needs. No more, no less. And the benefit here? It's all about unmatched flexibility and agility. You are literally creating a dream team of technologies. You get the best tool for every single job. Plus, and this is a big one, you're not locked into a single vendor. If a new, amazing search tool comes out next year, no problem. You just swap out that one Lego brick without having to rebuild your entire castle. It's about as future-proof as you can get. But you know the saying, with great power comes great responsibility. This kind of freedom isn't free. Building and managing a composable system is, it's complex. It takes a serious initial investment, a team with very advanced technical skills, and there's ongoing work to make sure all those best-of-breed services play nicely together. And maybe most importantly, it requires a real cultural shift in how your teams work. Everyone has to be on board with this new, more agile way of doing things. Okay, so we've looked at headless and we've looked at composable. We've seen the good and the challenging. So now let's put them right next to each other and really nail down the difference once and for all. And this table really lays it all out. Look at the philosophy. Headless is about freeing the front end. Composable is about freeing your entire system. Every piece is a separate module. That means with composable, you get the absolute maximum flexibility and agility. Here's the key takeaway, the thing to remember. All composable commerce is, by nature, headless. But not all headless commerce is composable. That's the real difference. So this naturally leads us to the million-dollar question. Which one is right for your business? And yeah, as you've probably figured out by now, there is no easy one-size-fits-all answer. It really, truly depends on you, your team, and your goals.
So here's a framework to help you think through it. The most important thing is not to just chase the shiniest new toy. You gotta walk through these steps. First, what are you actually trying to achieve as a business? Then, be brutally honest. What can your team realistically handle right now? You have to look at the total cost versus the potential return, and think about how fast you need to get moving. It's all about choosing a path that really supports where you want to go in the long run.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here. Because whether you're leaning toward headless, full-on composable, or even something in between, what you're really doing is starting a journey toward a more modern, more flexible commerce architecture.
And when you start on this journey, you are going to hear the acronym MACH thrown around a lot. So what is it? Think of MACH as the philosophical blueprint for all of this modern commerce stuff. It stands for microservices, API first, cloud native, and headless. These four things are basically the pillars that hold up the kind of flexible, future-ready systems we've been talking about this whole time. And make no mistake, this is where the entire industry is headed. What's really interesting is that this composable approach isn't just for the massive enterprise players anymore. We're seeing more and more mid-sized businesses adopt it. Why? Because this modular setup is absolutely perfect for plugging in the next wave of tech. Think about adding powerful AI for personalization or new AR shopping features. It becomes so much easier. So how do you actually get started without it feeling like you have to, boil the ocean? The good news is you don't have to do it all at once. The smartest way to begin this journey is to follow these steps. And the most important one here is start small. Don't try to replatform everything overnight. Pick one small project, a proof of concept, and use it as a learning experience. You build momentum, you build confidence, and you iterate from there. So if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this idea right here. Modern commerce isn't some finish line you cross. It's a constant process, an ongoing evolution. By choosing a more flexible, decoupled architecture, you're not just fixing a problem you have today. You're building a foundation that lets you adapt to whatever the future throws at you. So really, the question isn't if your business needs to become more agile. The real question is, how soon can you get started?